Well, hello there, everyone. You can show you right here is like the Gold Monument 8. Talk about right here is like for 8 sequel is talk about for the Gold Monument, and most of us have seen right here talk say for the Gold Monument and Statue of Liberty. But if we were to where that I might talk about for like mobile uses as well as like for like any type of gift cards it is, and besides what you call like for satellite radar, and I know that most of us know how that works is to where that you will be able to pull up your different locations and stuff, especially on the mobile amps nowadays, that you would be able to pull up your different locations of different cities and states. It is like from your mobile, like it's something like your Google Mapping, as well as other type of websites that provide you map locations. And I know, like with the mobile phone that I have, that allow it to where anywhere like in the phone directory, that if you had a research like an address location, you will be able to look that up, especially on a satellite view, on the maps, like on the phone especially. But talk about say for like toys though, and I'm sure that most of us here have more likely awareness, like for like what we consider what you call toys though. But this right here is like a talks about right here is like a mobile device, and the way I went ahead and painted this, drew the rest of this right here is to where they have right here is the Statue of Liberty right here, and this was like a mobile device. So if anybody warns us to where the that you may have bought, or if it was given to you, like, and I know like nowadays with most gift cards is to where that you'll be able to retrieve a gift card, and some of it may just work as just by what you call using new services, answering a few questions on maybe emails or some sort. So if anybody warns us to where the type of toys that we more likely remember getting is like one of those would be is to where. So it's like the type of toys that more likely they'd be thinking about right here is like you have right here is this type of toy right here, which this right here could be an example right here of like a birthday present right here, and you have right here is like with me kind of like what you call crawling around and like matching the shapes up, like you say with the if it's between that trying to if I can remember right what that type of toy was. But on the other hand, that does say for States Company, and we may think necessarily to where a lot of the things that more likely that we would expect, like on a birthday cake, and especially if it's going to be like any type of birthday present, it is that for what we call toys. And between stuffed animals and as well as maybe gift cards, greeting cards, or anything like that, that we maybe be able to see, like I say, for like gift wise, as to where anything that is related to gifts. And at the time that we weren't, or that that you were given something there, and then after about maybe a few weeks, and then it was like, you finally get hired a position somewhere, and they may ask you something such as to where, do you have access to what you call, mobile phone amp? I might that you will go ahead and send you some information based on what we do from the company, and if you have like maybe an email address or something like that, that could be used. So just think about this as to where that I know that nowadays it seems like a lot of people are like using it, but it's like besides telephone contact or anything like that. But on the other hand, that talk about right here for toys though, and really that the way I think about it though is maybe not everybody went to school to learn how to use a lot of this stuff. So basically, that I guess you kind of had to look at it as to where something to where that if it's going to be considered a gift. And I'm sure that most of us will likely think as to where if you buy a calculator at the store, maybe buy a phone at the store, maybe it could have been maybe at the dollar store you found something for a pretty good cheap price that that was affordable, and you decided to buy it just to check it out. So sometimes it seems like to where that with technology nowadays, as well as other sorts of supplies, and I know with back to school sales going on, especially to where that with all this train, all these accessories and stuff, and maybe not everybody would know exactly about how to use it. So I guess what's the best way of how to learn quickly, huh? And I guess you could say is to where that that for like Gold Monument is to where that whenever a kid that turns a year older, that are they maybe think about is to where digging into the birthday cake, get into the presents, get into the ice cream, or maybe if it's what you call, playing a game with their friends or anything like that. And I know, like with anybody, that there may be a number of things that people do. It's like, especially at the birthday parties. But for Gold Monument though, is like based off for jobs though. And I know, like with anybody, that back when I was very young and thinking that sorry to her, that yeah, that you were probably too young. I was probably too young really to understand a lot of the stuff, along with a lot of people that you're like warning to her that you're based on, say, Department of Treasury, so celebrate safely. So I could probably tell anybody here that I knew what fireworks were, since I was about 7 years old. So it's like thinking about it to where, between safety first, between fireworks, and as well as knowing for how to spend and save our money right, and how to budget right, all those other what you call training. It's like what you call disciplines, if you want to call it disciplines also. But you have right here is that, and I know if anybody wants us to where that you want me to, you get into some sketches that have anything to do with like satellite radar, but this right here is going to be talking about mobile technology for like mobile phones, because I know now it's like that the phone that I had before did not give me that capability to where I can actually receive mobile amps from the phone, and basically that where I can you use it for a number of things. And I know like anybody that they're like Warren to where, if you ever heard that story before, to where a kid gets a Happy Meal or something, like in a packaging, and they're thinking that well, that they're going, well, I could take it in, if you ever heard that before, taking it to the bathroom with them, or if it's what you call taking it to the park with them, maybe take it to school with them, if it fits in their pocket, or anything like that. But name one thing that maybe a child would not take with them, and more likely that could also maybe include what you call, anything, that could be related to maybe something that they, I don't know, has anybody ever heard of maybe, has any kids ever taken Tylenol to school for show and tell? Tylenol. I'm like, yeah, Tylenol. Any vitamins or any Tylenol? And I'm like, anybody that made an honor to her, that yeah, if you were sick for about maybe 4 days, and then you're like telling everybody, yeah, well, I went to the doctor and this is what I had to take, or anything like that. So if anybody wants this to her, that anything from your experience, huh? So I guess seems like experience starts from whenever you were about maybe 5 years old. That you were maybe too young really to understand about all that stuff about taxes, as well as ordering online and all that stuff. But some stuff that you may have done whenever you were very young, that you're like kind of thinking about it, to where that, oh, wait a minute, I'm like, well, last time I did this, of course, I got punished, like yeah, that thinking that it's going to maybe bring back a lot of memories, especially. And one of those would be a story that, yeah, that especially if you don't order something, or if it has anything to do with maybe higher education. But you see right here is that with this here from what we saw from the last time, but then this right here would be an example right here of, like, say, for like a tablet, like an electronic version. So if anybody wants this tour, that based on, it's like my study in like digital designing, that we may have heard that before, to where about have some fun. And sometimes that we weren't, to where that really, whenever you're going to be working on a job, that usually that we say is to where whenever you're giving a toy, and a lot of times for like any toys, for any toys that you do get, especially on your birthday and maybe around the holidays, like Christmas, or if it's any other type of special tradition, anniversaries, if you're going to be given a toy to play with, and you're like Warren, to where that yeah, it was something that you say that basically is to where there's any rules. Are there really any rules based on about how the toy is used? And you go, I say, well, there is what you call such thing as you don't put it in your mouth, and then don't get it all wet or whichever, or anything like that. But anybody that more likely say that, yeah, that if you're going to be what you call out on the playground, playing a game or some sort, or maybe what you call training, a few clients or so, that there's going what you call be rules. So that's just the thing that with toys though, that there's quite a few toys that we may think is to her that yeah, I bought I bought this phone and then I'm the one who discovered this or that. So I'm the one who makes the decision about how it's used. So I know, like with anybody's toy, that they may think it's for that whenever you blow out the candle on a birthday cake, or you basically say it's like you make a wish, or is that just saying it's to her that yeah, well you're the one who blew out the candle, or if it was somebody else that helped you blow out the candle. But on your hand, that with the candles, we may warrant to where what does that usually mean whenever we blow out the candles? And some that may say, well, is that all about is to where that from whenever you turn a year older, and that for like yeah, for the time that whenever before and after, like whenever the time that comes to which are between midnight and maybe 5 a.m. The next morning or so. And anybody that may want to look at the candles right here says for happy birthday, to the say for the gold. It says for the celebration of knowing for the gold monument, your responsibilities and representation for the like knowing about for understanding about the whole purpose about it's like Department of Treasury. So I know like with anybody that if I were to mention about is to where if anybody knows it's like what does money smell like, and sometimes it seems like to where you ain't got enough really to tell. But then on the other hand, whenever we open up a birthday card and you're like Warren to where yeah, birthday cards that it would show something kind of like this right here. It would say happy birthday. You're the cutie almighty or anything like that. Or if it's anything about don't feel old, don't feel old, feel proud or something. And then you open it up, and then there's like what you call is like it's like sort of a invitation or something like that. Inside there, like knowing about yeah, 20 or maybe $50 gift card to maybe on eBay or Amazon or some internet site like that, Best Buy or any other type of retail stores, and like with anybody's store that yeah, if it's going to be between any other retail stores, if it's going to be maybe the mall or somewhere like that. But you're like Warren to where if for any kind of gift cards, if it's going to maybe Starbucks. So a lot of the things that we're likely we see is like maybe we say for on our birthday especially, and you have right here is like talk about say for the gold monument. So I'm sure that anybody that may warrant or that yeah, you don't really look forward to what you call think about as toward the amount of debt that more likely that you could be in over if it's what you call is like for classes that you took. And I know like with anybody mentioned here, I talk about for English and put these ideas right here. And I know like anybody that say is that they're going to want to need some extra assistance with what you call spelling and then as well as pronouncing words such as the gold monument that keeps you working as well as it keeps the work going. It's like the skills that means gold, and then the career that we would be able to arrange from hobbies. But what do we call it for whenever knowing about is to where if there was what you call any such thing is to where that you made a career out of it. So think about right here for like any type of a degree, which you call if it's going to be web designing or digital designing or maybe anything such as what you call any other type of designer or director or some sort, lead management, that we weren't, or that yeah, that did we really wish for that, especially for our from our maybe our fifth birthday or our fourth birthday or something like that. But anyway, you see right here is this training, this work right here, putting together right here is like for my classwork. So if anybody warns us toward that, yeah, that from my years of a source of study and education, this right here would have been before that I was introduced to what you call like the Android phone, or if it's the iPhone 6, or if it's any other type of electronic device. So nowadays, yeah, that whenever you go to the doctors, that they have all this other electronic stuff, and so like the portable TV sets or electronic mirrors or anything like that, and you're like Warren to where that yeah that if I could have maybe gone to school to learn all that stuff, then maybe I would know a lot more about them. But just think about it to where that really about what we're capable of learning about and how well we are capable of learning it fast. And I know, like with any students, especially if there's going to be any due dates, especially that you make it real frustrated and real upset, like you're worried about trying to get something done, but on your hand, I guess try to think about it to where that for our years of education, especially for what can we show that we can improve, especially. And I have right here some pictures right here, and like with anybody that they may want to wear, that really that start to showing some more emails. I'm like, yeah, that if anybody warns us to worry about emails, and I know this is talking about right here for like mobile devices, like here you have right here for jobs though, but on your hand that say for like a mobile device. And if anybody warns us to where you don't have to worry about too much English language whenever you're working with a mobile device, but no, it's like look at it, it's like a pocket watch, like a watch. You're going to be carrying that watch with you almost anywhere you go. Rechargeable battery, and then plus it's like you use it for almost everything else. And anybody that may want to, or yeah, well, if it won't pour me a nice bowl of cereal, or maybe what you call, keep my chocolate milk cool or anything like that, like a refrigerator. And I know, like with anybody, that they may want to, or that how come that there ain't no refrigerator on mobile? A type of refrigerator that keeps your sandwiches, your cold sandwiches, and then your cold drinks fresh. And you're like, Warren Tweety, that's like one thing that you can't find in the fridge. So if anybody wants a store, that yeah, well, you ought to know about it's like for the Gold Monument. The Gold Monument, I'm sure, is going to be fresh on more ideas that's going to be coming up. But then on the other hand, that think about is to where like with toys though, that how many of us have a toy refrigerator? Or if any other type of toys, you get these toys, you look forward to getting presents, especially maybe from your 15th birthday or from your 12th birthday, or maybe if it's your 7th birthday, or maybe your 25th birthday, or maybe your 41st birthday, or your 37th or 39th birthday. So think about all these presents that more likely that you'll be getting later on, other than a big screen TV. And I don't know, I'm like, how many people here have ever been given a lawnmower for a birthday present? You're like, Warren Tour, yeah, besides what you call a mobile device, and you're like, Warren Tour, that really, about how many people here who may have had their first job, one of their first jobs was maybe between shoveling snow and as well as what you call lawnmower. You're using a lawnmower or a tractor. So you're like, Warren Tour, other jobs that you may have had, whenever you were under the age of 15 and thinking about is to where Gold Monument. But with my Photoshop work right here, I actually show right here for like jobs radar. So this right here, which I know that if I were to do any sketches about radars, and I'm sure like you say for like between what you call between North Tarikia, that it's gonna be any other type of state, things like that, looking for like images radar. But if anybody wants to see more sketches, I'm sure please let me know. But other than that, this is right here is talk about mobile right here, and as well as if anybody wants to know more about gift cards wise, but between like gifts and thinking as to where that nowadays that I think they may still send you those in the mail, of course, but some that may say is to where that there's like a coupon code that there's if you have an account through like what you call Amazon or any other type of electronic store, and especially those stores online, is to where if you're going to be having a gift card of some sort, and then more likely is to where that it'll be sent to you by email. And those of you that don't even know how to work email, and like Warren to where the basic training about the emails though is to where knowing about what the email address is, and there's like a way of if anybody warns us to where Gold Monument. It seems like to where that anything that keeps you busy though, but knowing about for like postpaid especially. Postpaid that they have right here talk about for package deliveries, and I know like with anybody is to where that whenever if you're going to be given like a toy such as maybe an iPhone or something like that, it's kind of like a calculator to where one purpose that you mainly got it for mainly was what you call if you want to check it out or keeping connected with your friends, your family members, or if it's what you call anything that is related to what you call, you know, making phone calls or anything like that, playing games. And I know, like with anybody, that they may say is to where that they'll go ahead and get on there, maybe play a few games or some sort. So you're like Warren, to where that half the time, that how many people are going to be using it for job reasons. Maybe some of them that maybe not even think that they even exist. So you're like Warren, to where jobs mobile. I'm like, really? Is there any such thing? And I guess you could probably say is to where that I really just think that yes, there is, but then it just sometimes so that we may not see a paycheck right away, but then on your hand, two other sources of information that is collected, and one of those would be to where the type of communication that you give you and maybe to the representative. So if you were to be what you call on mobile right here, this right here, maybe an example right here of an electronic stamp right here, but if you would be talking to somebody maybe by mobile, and if it's going to be by email, and I know like with anybody that since I was young, since I was in the 10th grade, I can remember they getting some practice with emails, and I can remember that a couple of times too that I kept thinking that my teachers were going to get mad at me because hey, you're not supposed to be on there, Matthew, but back during that time, I think it was the IBM computers, the IBM operating computers during that time. So it was like, really that with anything that I was doing and thinking about, oh, the printer comes on and it starts to print out something and like, oh, I didn't do anything, I didn't touch anything, but but on your hand, that with any type of if you're going to be on the computer, especially there at the school, and then sometimes it's like you're kind of concerned about maybe the teachers are going to get mad at you for if the printer comes on and starts printing something, or there's a message that comes up and says something about your program or something like that, files that need to be installed or anything like that. So that's another thing too, is to where if anybody warns us to where that if this was right here was an example right here of a message that I know I don't have very much detail displayed on here, but a lot of this language I'm sure that they say is it's based on, which I know for sure is to where that based on like they say for any type of web designing courses that I have had, such as for Dreamweaver, and warning about that the type of source, if you want to call them source codes or any type of coding sorts, is to where that you're going to have it to where that the type of language about how internet browsers communicate with each system. So if you're going to be on like a if you're going to be on your smartphone, maybe signed on to an account, you have an online account. If you're going to be accessing your account from a different device, and then basically that it's possible it'll be sending out different languages, different language notes, and then they could more likely include, like, let's say, a few keywords such as question mark, or parenthesis, or anything like that, quotation marks, or anything like that, underscores. So different keywords, and with these keywords, I guess if you want to call them, like, say, type of signs and like type of language about if there's anything that goes wrong, and then basically that these are like keywords to where it sends it to, like, let's say, the company, to the internet server. So if there's any problems, then basically that it gets information from your operating system and sends it to the company, and as well as that anything else that comes to the attention as well. So it seems like a lot of times though that a lot of stuff which sometimes I don't even understand completely, because sometimes anybody that may warrant to where really that you may not even have time really to spend a whole lot of time about finding out about what the problem is. It's like you get the message, and then some things that you may not understand either. So basically that if anybody warns us to where that that if you have a few pictures right here, then you may understand just a little bit about, oh yeah, well, oh, okay, that looks like a cartoon character right there. Yeah, that right there was a graduate, and then he's right here, some of my photos right here along with my paintings. But if I were to be looking at this right here could maybe display the location of those files. And one of them could be is to where that if the files were hacked into, or if there was a problem, a file that was corrupted, or maybe a program software that was not installed properly, or anything like that. So a lot of these warning signs, which I know that they say that, especially whenever we buy fireworks and celebrate with fireworks, but really, I mean, how many times does anybody celebrate anything that's related to like what you call anything related to messaging or anything that's related to like we say these code names. So anybody that wanted to where really what's there really to celebrate? And knowing about really that whenever you were first introduced to it, whenever from how long you've been working it for, like 2 years, that since you started working for a company that you kind of want to celebrate. 2 years since you started, and you kind of want to look back or so. But you see right here is my birthday cake would have had right here for Happy Birthday Matthew, and it went 4 right here. But then I think about right here is this right here could contain a number of messages right here. And I don't know if one of them on an email would include like anything about happy birthday, but one of them could include like something such as to where, good morning, Matthew, welcome back. We have some more updated information for you. Please check your folders account. Please open up and locate the source codes or if anything about your few other messages also. So I know a lot of this stuff right here that if we are capable of what you call, if we're pretty good with electronics, which I know with me, I've been in in a lot of electronics since I was young. So sometimes that I'm a pretty fast learning about how they work, but if you're going to be training somebody else, and then it's like thinking about it to where that they know maybe some of the other basics about it. But they have a talk about right here for like gold monument as to where if anybody want to look at it as to where that the amount of information that you are able to learn in about a week or so, and think about for what's improved. And whenever I look at this right here, and then as well as with my other photos right here, like the gold monument, and thinking about necessarily to where what's what we call considered toys. So this right here will be example right here of a toy right here, and thinking about you're going to maybe be pushing a few buttons, and you may not know any better other than it makes a noise, or if it's what you call anything that is really to like for any type of actions that more likely it does. It's like with the toys though, but they say it's a typical for any kids to be putting the pieces in their mouth, but something to watch out for also. But like for any infants that with me though that from whenever I was first drawing free-handed, and then whenever I look at this picture right here, I also think about as to where that kids are going to be that curious to where they pick up a remote control and then they see a few buttons and or something like that, or maybe something that says States Company. And you may think about as to where kids may say something as to where that I want to go ahead and help mommy and daddy out or something like that. You want to help the parents out with something, or if you want to go and help them pay for something, or if you want to help somebody else learn something. And then you're like saying that sometimes some kids may say that they just do it automatically. They learn automatically. They assume automatically, knowing about what the parents are going to say. But talk about say for like any job officers especially, and then knowing about for talk about see for the gold monument right here, and then you have right here is my happy face right here. So if anybody wants a store, you have right here is for the gold monument, for gold monument 8. You talk about say for mobile phone, communication as well, and you have right here for July 18th between 2016 and 2021. And knowing for the most part as to where if anybody warns as to where you have right here is the stars right here, and then knowing about your bar taxes especially. So if this was right here was me, and let's just say if I were to be following my taxes, maybe by mobile, and anybody that may warrant to where what does it look like necessarily. So I keep wondering to where really that if I could maybe, which I know I have posted videos about it, but then on your hand that some of those on some of those pay, if you want to call them like what you call web pages that they have you working online. A lot of those that they have you working online may just be a little bit different, but then on your hand that they ask you a few questions. Quite a few of those questions could be related to if you're a business person or working for any type of particular company. And I know, which I found my taxes long enough to the point to where they start asking you questions that could have happened a long time ago. With this long time ago, and you might likely say that not that long ago, whenever you were just a baby, but say about a year ago, that like any questions that they may ask you, something such as to where that you'll work in a certain job or so, or if this has changed or if that's changed or anything like that. So a lot of the information that they do collect, that sometimes it could be based on from about a year ago, and then especially if it goes by what you call, children's tuition, tuition for higher education. And I know that if we were to be figuring out the math and thinking necessarily to where that on mobile phone too, that you're like one to where you get a bunch of messages, text messagings or anything like that, anything about maybe emails that maybe you don't understand about how to open them. It is, but anybody that may want to, or really that if you got a touchscreen phone, all you have to do is just tab the folder right there, and it should be able to open. So that's just a thing with anybody, as to where that whenever you get one of those phones and thinking about as to where that Gold Monument, especially Gold Monument in 3D, and you're thinking necessarily to where, hey, that you like to see something in 3D, like for jobs radar. It's like you see the Gold Monument right there, and then it opens up, and then it shows like a different screen of which maybe the city, or maybe different map views, or maybe a few documents or some sort. So see a mobile phone right here would more likely represent, it's like, I don't know what you call, maybe what you call a safe, a birthday candle that more likely is to where it does a number of things. So you're like thinking about it to where you may have gotten it maybe for toys, and I know like with anybody's tour that really that if it was so easy, then more likely that anybody would likely say is to where really that they would have it to where kids more likely would be getting on their smartphones and maybe think about as to where doing like what you call that playing those games. And I know like with anybody that they may want to where that whenever you first got your first phone, if it's going to be the iPhone 6 or something like that, what was the first thing that you did whenever you first got it? And then the first thing that you did was made a phone call, because you got the phone, and you already knew the number that you wanted to dial or something, or maybe you already knew what you wanted to do with that phone, and thinking about it to where you just wanted to make a phone call. But really, about how many people that more I would say is to where you want to check into the game store. So, or if you want to go ahead and maybe go to the movies, you want to get into the movies, you want to watch a movie with it, and you're like wanting to where that really that so with a lot of that stuff that whenever you're first introduced to it and thinking about it to where that yeah, it's especially if it's going to be a birthday present that you may have gotten it, maybe for a birthday present, but then whenever you check it out and find out that anybody that may want toward it, yeah, well, let's just say if my iPhone, would be considered what you call something to help me do the chores around the house, do you think that I would be able to get it, or do you think, somebody would be able to buy it for me just because that, oh, well, it's, helping you to where you can go ahead and understand a little bit of the basic rules about yeah, you gotta do your chores, you gotta do your homework. So anybody that may want to where, hey, it's my birthday, I can do whatever I want, but sometimes you're like, well, really that people may say that, yeah, well, asking you to volunteer and help somebody out, I say that, yeah, they get a birthday present, and they're thinking that necessarily to where, yeah, if you know anything about this or that, and more likely they'll ask you for assistance, especially. But reading this right here and thinking about as to where the top of the jobs that more likely anybody more likely get, and thinking necessarily to where that if it's going to be what you call between a higher education as well as from based on from where you started, and knowing about really that people were knowing about is to where try not to get too worried about debt. Try not to get too worried about for anything that anything else. A lot of those things, because that we likely weren't to where 1 year seems like an awful long time knowing about is toward it. Yeah, for the things between the things that you want to do and then the things that you really don't want to do. But then on your hand, it seems like to where that really the type of moments that more likely they would last longer, especially. One of those moments would be is to where think about is to where if anybody wants is to where to think about having a lot of money, or if it's about is to where anything that you think is what you call that was your idea. It was your idea and you're wondering about who's interested in using it. But on your hand, that you have right here, Saw State for the Passion, huh? But here right here is me right here when I was young, especially for Matthew Sean McGuire, like July 18th, 1985. Until I say for Gold Monument 8, thanks for watching and have a great day.